companies hitting earnings. Microsoft, stock rises after the company reports a 15% jump in sales and says coronavirus had minimal impact on revenue. Why? Microsoft is a software. What are people doing? Working from home. All right, so you know what I'm thinking? A lot of people who didn't have Office went and bought Office, Office 365, bought all of that stuff. I think because they were home and they needed it. Think about that. What other companies hit? Kellogg's. Pringles maker Kellogg says profits jumps 23% on virus-led stockpiling. Well, if you were going to be home, what is one of the things that you, especially if you got the kids at home, what are you buying? What do you buy for your kids? Snacks. No, cereal. Every kid will eat cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What do you want? Cereal. Right, Joey? Mm-hmm. What do you want for lunch? Cereal. What do you want for dinner? Cereal. And they'll do it. And think about that. That makes sense. Next story, company that made Facebook. Facebook up 6%. Usage tops expectations in Q1. Why? People at home. They're posting all kinds of stories about being at home. Hey, this is what my dog did today. I told you this story about my grandbaby. My grandbaby looks at my belly and says, Papa, do you have a baby in your belly? I'm like, wow. But I posted that on Facebook. You're going to post all of these things on Facebook. What else? 3M. 3M surges on earnings beat. That was nearly 20 years in the making. Man, were they not looking at my stories? Oh, they were? Okay. So 3M beats earnings. One more, Starbucks. Starbucks earnings per share is in line, beats on revenue. All right, so I just wanted to pick up some of the stocks out there that beat earnings. I wanted to be more upbeat. I didn't want to look at the stocks that missed earnings. All right, that's just me. I want to be positive. I wanted to be Mr. Positive today. Woohoo! Yay! I wanted to be Mr. Positive, and I wanted to look at the stocks more so that beat earnings than missed earnings. Let's go to my list. What stocks did I say? Facebook. Thank you. Facebook, Microsoft, Alphabet. Oh, I have that in here as Google. Did I put? Yeah, there's Google. What else? 3M, Starbucks. No, Kellogg. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing M&M. There it is. I have 6. Did I have 6? Oh, I put Google. Remember you put Google? All right. So there's my 6 stocks. So all of these beat earnings. Facebook, undervalued. Microsoft, overvalued. Alphabet, way overvalued. Starbucks, overvalued. 3M, fairly valued. Kellogg, overvalued. Let's go look at our indicators. Facebook, good upside potential. Microsoft, good upside potential. Alphabet, good upside potential. Starbucks, good upside potential. 3M, Kellogg, So what's really making Kellogg move? Relative timing, the big uptick in buying of the snacks and cereal. All right, what else is moving? 3M is moving. All of our stocks that beat earnings have RTs above 1. And all of the stocks that beat earnings, look at their relative safeties. Remember I told you that when a stock has got a relative safety above 1, chances are, just like Johnny Mathis, chances are, because I wear this silly grin, that the stock is going to meet or beat earnings. 4 out of the 6 did. 2 of them were below 1 on relative safety, but still beat earnings. All right, Facebook grows their earnings 19%. That's the biggest one. Interesting that Kellogg, the only thing really moving Kellogg is that it beat earnings and that it's moving up because they grow their earnings at a negative rate. Let's right-click, view the stock graph. Let's see if there's anything here we like. Let's go 3-month graph. Facebook, woo! Gap up after earnings, and guess what? I could put earnings on here. Boom, there's the earnings date. All right, earnings, the stock went up, but you know what? I'm getting a lot of profit taking. Earnings was yesterday. Here we go, a little profit taking going on. If I own Facebook, leave it alone. If I don't, I'd wait 12 cents higher than the high. Next one, Microsoft. Earnings yesterday, a little bit of a bearish bullish candle, bearish bullish candle. I wouldn't take it today because it's a closed candle, but still above the 20-day exponential moving average. Google, above the 20-day exponential moving average. Earnings was 2 days ago. Nice pop-up after earnings, but just a little bit of pullback, still above the gap from the earnings date. I'm okay with that. Starbucks, still above the 20-day exponential moving average, but look at the pullback. All right, if it on an end-of-day basis, if you own the stock and it goes below the 20-day, you might want to consider taking half off the table or the trade off the table altogether. Kellogg's, again, RT is what's moving it. Look at the big down day today. RT above 1, but look at the big down day today. And the last stock is 3M. A lot of these stocks, even though they hit their earnings, there's the earnings there. Even though they hit their earnings, they're pulling back. But as long as they're still above the 20-day exponential moving average, they should be fine. All right. Any questions, Joey?
So I think this question came when you were talking about your stories.
Okay.
But can't value go down to price?
So yeah, value can, question is, but can't value go down to price? So that is the reason, no. Normally, in an undervalued stock, and the reason why we want you in undervalued stocks is because price will tend to rise to value. That's why we want you in the undervalued stocks, because we say that the stock is worth this. Most likely, if it's a good value, stock's price should rise to meet value. Could it happen the other way around? Sure, it could. Most times, price rises to value. Most times, price rises to value. That's a good question. Any other questions?
Does VectorVest recommend buying stocks that are overvalued but have over 1s on all other indicators?
All right, so the question is, does VectorVest advocate buying stocks that are overvalued but have RVs over 1? Yes, there's a name for those stocks. They're called glamour stocks. I did a strategy on glamour stocks a couple of years ago, where stocks that were grossly overvalued but with a relative value above 1, I would still say it's okay to buy those stocks. That upside potential means a lot. So a stock like Google that may be way overvalued has good upside potential. So yeah, if a stock is overvalued, that means that people are willing to pay a premium to own the stock. Doesn't make it a bad stock. But if you have an overvalued stock with an RV above 1, that is called a glamour stock. And you may be with a leader and not with you may be part of the leaders and not part of the sheep. Any other questions?
How do you display earnings icon on stock graph?
So how do you display the earnings icon on the graph? Once you view the stock graph, once you pull it up, look down at the bottom, there is an earnings. Take me off for a second. There is an earnings dot or button right down here. Let me click on it first. Right here, you see where it says earnings? When you click on it, it brings the earnings data onto your graph. All right, that's how you get earnings on the graph. It's right here at the bottom. Joey's going to put me back on. That's another good question. Any other questions, Joey?
Yeah. Is there a watch list for upcoming earnings?
Is there a watch list for upcoming earnings? Yes, there sort of kind of is. So watch this. In the Viewers tab, go down to, in the Viewers tab, we have Events Viewer. All right, there's the Events Viewer. Once you click on that, I can look for all of the earnings dates coming up. I'm going to take off the dividend pay dates. I'm going to take off the dividend execution dates. And all my upcoming earnings dates are now right here. Thursday, April 30th. Here's all of the stocks that are coming up for earnings today. Who asked that question? What's the person's name?
I'm not sure.
All right, whoever asked that question, does that answer your question? And I'm looking at all the way from 4/30, 2020 to 7/30. If I scroll down, let's go see what stocks have earnings coming out tomorrow. Man, there's a lot of stocks having earnings today.
Venom Hoss.
All right. There it is. Friday, May 1st. There's all my earnings coming out for Friday. So yes, there is my list of all of the stocks that are coming out for earnings. That's relatively new, by the way. All right. Any other questions, Joey?
How often EPS and GRT get updated?
How often does earnings per share and GRT get updated? Every single day. Our earnings, by the way, is forecasted 12 months out. It is a 12-month forecast of earnings and earnings growth rate, because earnings is part of that calculation, earnings growth rate. It's also forecasted out, but they are both updated every single day. And if you're on real time, they're updated every second. Any other questions, Joey?
Ron Russ wants to know, is it a good idea to follow the Moneymakers portfolio?
Good question. Is it okay to follow the Moneymakers portfolio? Let's go to the Trading Systems viewer. Or maybe Let's go see, do I have Moneymaker in here? And this is a good, if I have it in here, there's Moneymaker. You know what you want to see? If you want, you ask the question if it's okay to trade it. What's it doing over the last month, over the last 3 months, over the last year? What's it doing year to date? So that's a better way of answering your question. All right, that's a better way of answering your question. Use the data from the trading systems viewer to answer your question. We set it up there for you. Moneymaker is one of the trading systems. Do you like it? Here's the equity curve. Match the drawdown so far this year, or 1 year drawdown, 15%. Annualized rate of return, 17%. Year to date, though, it's down. Hopefully that answers your question. All right? Hopefully that answers your question. Folks, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, especially for my new people. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.